The Fisher King is a 1991 comedy drama directed by Terry Gilliam.
Yeah, it focuses on a shock jock by the name of Jack Lucas, who's played by Jeff Bridges, and the film opens with him, on his radio show, and he takes some callers. And one of these callers is a bit of a lonely guy, isn't he? And but Jack isn't very nice to his callers, so this guy then decides to shoot up a restaurant with a shotgun.
Yeah.
So we cut to 3 years later, and Jack is no longer a shock jock, and he's working in a video store, and he's pretty down, pretty depressed, and he wanders out of his apartment drunk, and happens across he's kind of rescued by a homeless guy, isn't he? Who's played by Robin Williams. And he then discovers that Robin Williams' character was the husband of someone who shot at this restaurant several years ago. So he obviously then feels, incredibly guilty that, this guy's life fell apart because of this event that was in part caused by, his uncaring attitude. Robin Williams is, he's basically it's a standard Robin Williams performance. His crazy antics fit because his character is, a bit nuts. And he believes that he's searching for the Holy Grail, and he believes it's in this billionaire sort of castle building that's on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. And he's also in love with this girl who he sees going into an office block every day. So the story goes on from there, and Jeff Bridges' character helps him with his love life and with his Holy Grail quest.
It is, obviously, we decided the other day we'd do like a Valentine's, because Valentine's Day was on Tuesday, and there is romance in this film. Well, I tell you what I really like about this film. For me, because this is actually one of my favourite films ever. Not the favourite film ever, but it's one of them. It's in my top 5. And I think it's a kind of a perfect film, because I think it features everything. It's got everything in there. There's tragedy and pathos and humour.
Yeah.
There's nightmares in there, there's dreams in there, there's kind of guilt, there's despair, loss, success, failure, everything. But there is romance. There's two kind of romantic relationships going on. One that's kind of coming to hitting the rocks slightly, and one that's starting up. But I also like that it's a really great cast and really amazing performances by this cast. So yes, you've got Jeff Bridges and Mercedes Ruehl, who are in the film. They're a couple.
Yep.
Everyone knows who Jeff Bridges is. Mercedes Ruehl, she won a supporting actress Oscar for this film, and deservedly so, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
She turned up. She didn't do much after the Oscar, did she?
She was Danny's mum in Last Action Hero.
That's right. She was the mum in Big as well.
Yeah.
I think she did a lot of stage work in the past, and she's probably still doing stage work.
She's done, some TV work and stuff like that, but nothing. Unfortunately, after this, nothing. I don't think is quite as high profile anymore. Which is a shame.
Which is a shame, because I think she's excellent in this. And then, of course, you've got Robin Williams and Amanda Plummer, who plays his kind of love interest. And she, again, she's always known as playing slightly awkward, offbeat characters. She was in Pulp Fiction. And she was in Butterfly Kiss, which is a really strange Michael Winterbottom film. Christopher Plummer's daughter.
Yeah.
Hence the name.
I never would have guessed.
But she, again, those two have some wonderful performances. It's a Terry Gilliam film. We can't not talk about Terry Gilliam. No. Terry Gilliam is a bit of a master. I think this is Terry Gilliam's best film. Might be a bit controversial. I know a lot of people like Brazil. I don't
know. I'm not a massive fan of Brazil, which probably.
Okay, I think Brazil is maybe his. Technically, it's maybe his most accomplished.
Yeah,
film.
I would agree.
But I think this I really like, because I like acting in films. That's one of the things I like about what I go for in cinema. And for this one, I feel like Terry Gilliam allows his cast to breathe.
Yeah.
And just lets them get on with it. There's lots of long takes in the film.
There is.
Which actors love, because actors use long takes. They can just get in the role and they can just go with it. And I think there's some really great scenes. There's a couple between Jeff Daniels and Mercedes Ruehl. There's obviously a few between
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges, and and obviously Jeff Bridges and Robin Williams. There's some great moments between those two. But there's also one. There's a scene between Robin Williams and Amanda Plummer, which I think is a perfect scene. You'll know it if you see it. It's on a sidewalk. And for me, that's kind of, you watch that and you're like, Robin Williams, he gets this character. He totally gets what's going on. And I love that scene. And also the fact that they're kind of awkward. They're quite awkward people.
The restaurant scene is quite odd.
That's amazing, that scene. That's incredible. It was completely ad-libbed, apparently. They kind of, I think it was raining. It was raining outside, so they needed to kind of move inside to film it. So they went into this restaurant, just set it up on the fly, and then pretty much ad-libbed the whole thing. And that's a great. It's completely off the wall, that scene. And I think even when the camera pulls back at the end, they had no crane, so they're literally just pulling it back, and all the crew were putting the tables back underneath, which is quite magic of cinema. Yeah, which is quite clever.
It's ruined it for me now.
And well, there you go. If you watch your special features, you might find that out. But that's a wonderful moment. And there's obviously the famous scene in the station.
Yeah.
That's famous. I think they recreate that every New Year.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they do this big dance in there, and it's just a wonderful scene. I just love it, and it's King Arthur, the Arthurian legend, is in there. Yep. Which is, no stranger to Terry Gilliam, having done the Holy Grail with Monty Python.
I mean, that's the most Terry Gilliam thing about it, I think, is the Red Knight that appears. If you saw that, you would think that looks like it's out of a Terry Gilliam film.
And I think this was because he'd done Barry Munchausen, and he kind of got fed up of all that, and he didn't want to do a big studio film. No. So this script came along by Richard LaGravenese or something. Yeah. Which is it's a really good script, and Terry Gilliam got the film, and I think he wanted to kind of make it, but he didn't want to make a Terry Gilliam film. No. But obviously there's stuff in there.
It's sort of kind of Terry Gilliam turned down a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and but I think it works in this film's favour.
There's also a great performance from Michael
Jetta.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
from The Green Mile.
Yeah, and he's not in it.
He's not in a lot, but he's
memorable.
He's very memorable, yeah. And there's a couple of other. Harry Shearer is in there for a blink and you miss it moment. Mm-hmm. Tom Waits, the singer, he's in the station scene, and he's great in that tiny role that he's in. It's just, you probably know it. I mean, we have a kind of rediscovering of things. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, it's no rediscovery for me. I watched it quite a few times, but if you don't know it, I recommend checking it out. It's got some really great stuff in there. There's lots of nice musical interludes as well. I mean, obviously Michael Jetta's character is kind of like an ex kind of musical dame of some kind, and he brings in some musical stuff to it. There's the famous Frank Sinatra song "How About You," which crops up a lot in this film. So yeah, it's just I just think it's perfect. It's just great.
Fair enough.
I don't have anything bad to say about the film.
No, I really absolutely. No, I agree with everything you said. Although I would say my favourite Gilliam film is 12 Monkeys.
Okay, I like all Terry Gilliam films. Well, actually, there's not some of his later ones haven't quite hit the nail on the head.
I think I have seen Dr. Parnassus.
That was quite good. Zero Theorem was a bit self-indulgent, but that's okay. I'm a big fan of Terry Gilliam, like all his films. Yeah, 12 Monkeys is great. And in fact, I think actually this one, 12 Monkeys and Tideland, those three are all quite similar because they're all quite... The acting, the actors are allowed to just act. And I think, Bruce Willis gives a great performance in 12 Monkeys, as does Brad Pitt. And Jeff Bridges turns up again in Tideland, or he's not in it much. He's kind of dead for most of the film, but...
Spoilers.
No, but he dies at the beginning of the film.
Okay,
you ever seen it?
No.
Yeah, so you can see it. You definitely can see this one, because it's not obscure in the slightest. I've actually got an old version of it. I've got the old DVD, just a British released DVD here. Nothing on it whatsoever.
Apart from the film. Which is the main thing, obviously.
Which is the main thing.
I think the way to check it out these days is definitely a rather tasty Criterion edition.
Yes, that came out recently, didn't it?
Well, it came about 6 months ago in the UK. Okay. It's been out a bit longer in the US.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's all a lovely restoration, 2K restoration, and it's got approved by Terry Gilliam, apparently. It's got commentary. A lot of the features are, I think, from the Laserdisc from back in the day, but there is some more recent stuff. And there was a 2006 interview with Robin Williams, where he talks about the film, and Yeah, and loads. As usual, Criterion. They pack their discs out with loads of stuff. So if you want loads of behind the scenes info on the film, this is definitely the one to pick up. And
looks nice.
It does, yeah. And as you know, they have finally started releasing stuff in the UK in the last couple of years. Not everything, but this fortunately is one of them. So yeah, you don't need a Region A Blu-ray player.
No, it would be nice to see some more of their films come out in the UK.
Definitely,
they've got quite a good. They've got a very good back catalogue.
Yeah, loads and loads. I mean, this is number 764. So I don't think we're going to see everything released over here, but it would be nice if we saw a few more. But yeah, definitely check that out. I mean, it's got, as usual, it's got a bit of a, rather than a booklet, it's got some poster thing going on with.
Wow, let's hold that one up. What's that?
There you go.
That's pretty funky.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
So yeah, check that out. It's definitely the way to see it if you're a fan of the film.
I've been trying to get hold of it, and once I get paid, because that's one thing about Criterion, they're slightly pricey.
Yeah, they never really go on sale at all. But,
I think they're worth it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh no, definitely. They definitely put a lot of work into the discs, so it's worth picking up if you're a fan of the film.
Yeah.
Or if you're not,
great.
pick it up anyway.
Do that.
And become a fan.
Become a fan. You will be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have not found many people who don't like the film.
But yeah, like we say, if we were mentioning Valentine's Day. You wouldn't necessarily think of it as a Valentine's film, but it does have
the romance. The romance in there is quite romantic.
Yeah,
there's scenes of it. I mean, there's other there's scenes.
It's not sickly sweet.
It's not
like a lot of
sweet.
Traditional Valentine's films might be.
No, but it's one. In fact, it's one of those romance films to me that gets what actually. I mean, if you're quite kind of an awkward, unsure about yourself kind of person, then this is the kind of film that you might turn to. Similar to, in fact, I think there's a few similarities between this one and Punch Drunk Love, which is another one about kind of awkward people getting together. So that's why I like it. So if you're of that makeup, then I think you'll probably get something out of this.
So if you're going first date on on Valentine's Day, check out one of them.
Yeah, don't do what I did on first date once upon a time.
Oh, what was that?
I showed someone Romper Stomper. That was not a very clever idea. Didn't go down too
Can't imagine why that relationship didn't work. It's a mystery.
No. Anyway, yeah. So that was The Fisher King.
It certainly was.
It was, and we hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, leave us a comment, subscribe, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, check us out on Facebook and Twitter, all that stuff. And join us again next week for another one.